He signed for my law school graduation invitations in my own name, then asked why I never showed up to his. At the New Year's party, Mom cornered me by the mistletoe. "Why did you skip your brother's graduation?" I answered. "I had my own that month. You were all invited, nothing ever arrived." I flashed the delivery confirmations. Every tracking page showed the same careless scrawl, my brother's handwriting claiming mail addressed to me to Mom to Dad. "I'm Harry, 32, eldest, accidental referee, corporate attorney by trade. I live in a narrow studio over a donut shop, run 4 miles whenever my thoughts start sprinting, and store my neckties rolled like sleeping snakes. Forms get filled, deadlines get crushed, chaos used to get handed to me with a smile." New Year's Eve. Paper lanterns, cloying cider, the living room thick with pine needles and leftover grudges. I showed up because Mom texted it would mean the world. I was hanging my coat when she fired the first shot. No greeting, just the question, loud enough for the whole room to swivel. "Which graduation?" I asked. She rolled her eyes. "Your only brother, Harry, Ethan. The ceremony, the brunch, the photos, you ghosted everything." Aunts leaned in, cousins pretended not to listen. My ribs tightened the way they always did when the spotlight found me for the wrong reasons. I kept my tone level. I graduated law school the same spring. Invitations went out, certified, signed for. Mom flicked her wrist. We never received a thing. Across the room, Ethan raised his champagne in a lazy toast, flashing the grin that always melted consequences. I pulled out my phone, opened the postal app, zoomed until the signatures filled the screen. Same looping E, same cocky tail on the Y, 3 envelopes, 3 forgeries by the household's unofficial mailman. For one heartbeat the music seemed to pause. Ethan laughed first. "Looks like someone's been practicing my autograph, classic prank." Mom's smile went plastic. "Harry, not tonight. It's almost midnight." Dad muttered into his beer, "Can we not do this in front of company?" I pocketed the phone. The lie settled back over the room like a blanket no one admitted was suffocating. I learned young that in our house, silence was legal tender. If nobody said it, it never happened. If you said it without receipts, you were sensitive. I was the reliable one, the kid who returned field trip slips before the ink dried, who reconciled the checkbook for pocket money. Ethan was Sparkle. Teachers wrote lights up the room on his reports. Mine read conscientious. Mom measured worth in cheers, Dad measured it in convenience. Ethan supplied both. When my law school acceptance arrived, it decorated the refrigerator exactly 51 hours before Ethan's comedy show flyer covered it. I paid tuition with night shifts and credit card advances. I rode the Greyhound at dawn because my car wheezed its last breath. I answered Ethan's texts at 2 a.m. Quick question about my apartment lease, counselor. While eating cold ramen over casebooks. Mom called us a team. Translation: Harry handles fallout. I printed heavy cream invitations in the library basement, addressed them by hand, paid extra for tracking because panic is expensive. The clerk at the post office thumped each envelope like a drum roll. No replies came. I told myself mail gets lost. I told my study group friend Marisol the same lie. She tapped my knuckles with her highlighter. "Or they're ignoring you, call them." I called, voicemail I texted. Blue ticks never turned red. Graduation day was all wind and sunshine. Families waved bouquets like flags. I searched the bleachers until my eyes burned, then stopped searching. Afterward, I posed alone against a stone wall, gown flapping, smile correct, heart quiet. I drove home, hung the diploma crooked, and never straightened it. 3 weeks later, Dad rang. "Your mother thinks you're mad." I sent invitations. "Never saw them," he said, already bored. "Anyway, Ethan's big day is Saturday. You'll be there, right?" I stared at the leaning frame. "I have depositions." He sighed the sigh that always ended discussions. "Don't be difficult." I didn't go. Ethan posted a collage. Cap tossed high, parents beaming, caption riding on the shoulders of giants. 2 months later, New Year's Eve, the signatures, the quick subject change to fireworks and fresh starts. What I didn't mention that night were the years of temporary loans that became permanent. The utility bills I paid from 3 states away. The plane tickets I bought for family emergencies that somehow always coincided with Ethan's concerts. There was the time he opened a store card in my name, just to see if it would work. It worked. I closed it, drove to the house, found him on the porch eating cereal at noon. "My bad," he said, milk on his chin. "Already canceled, relax." He hadn't canceled anything. Gravity in our family always pulled toward Ethan. If the orbit wobbled, Harry could be counted on to add thrust. So when Mom asked why I missed his graduation, what she really meant was, "Why did you stop circling?" I left the party at 11:58. Fireworks cracked overhead like cheap applause. I stood on the cold sidewalk and decided, quietly, that 2024 would be the year I stopped being the spin. 3 weeks later, Mom started a new group chat titled Family 2024 Goals. First message: bullet list, Dad's root canal, Ethan's app demo day, Summer Lake House. Harry, can you secure the deposit? We'll reimburse after taxes. I typed one word, no, the chat froze. Ethan sent a crying laughing emoji. No, I typed again, I'm no longer advancing group expenses. Mom, this isn't the venue for theatrics. Dad, let's talk like adults. Me, I am. Ethan, you're being extra, bro. You live for spreadsheets. Me, I don't live for being an unsecured loan. Mom switched to voice notes, sugar laced with venom. You're exhausted, sweetheart. Don't let the firm make you hard. I texted back, the firm taught me the difference between kindness isn't the same as subsidy. She fired off, your brother has momentum right now. He needs his family. I asked, which family members exactly? Silence answered. The blow-up happened at Dad's birthday dinner. Long table, butcher paper, crayons, 20 relatives. Ethan arrived 20 minutes late, kissed cheeks, slid in across from me wearing a hoodie that cost more than my suit. Heard you're unionizing against us, counselor. I laid printed emails on the table, the forged credit application, the invitation receipts, 5 years of Venmo transfers with memos like, love you, bro. Amounts redacted because even anger has manners. Ethan's smile twitched. You brought props. Mom tried to sweep the pages toward me like dirty napkins. He's showing off his new toy evidence. I left the papers. I'm done floating anything. No more deposits, no more spot me till Friday, no more signing my name. Dad finally looked up from his clams. Who are you without us, Harry? I thought of the crooked diploma, the solo graduation photo, the quiet mornings since I muted the chat. Someone who sleeps, I said. I tapped my card for my share only and walked out while the oysters were still sweating on ice. Boundaries aren't explosions, they're maintenance. The first month the chat pinged like a smoke detector with low batteries. Mom sent novellas ending in requests for just this last thing. Ethan posted memes of flying wallets. Dad, we don't respond to ultimatums. I muted, didn't leave. Mercy toward myself. Work sharpened. I took the cases I used to turn down for lack of oxygen. I cooked with music on, left dishes in the sink overnight just because I could. The donut shop cat adopted me. I adopted better sleep. Mom showed up one Tuesday with lasagna and wet eyes. I can't lose my boy. You won't, I said at the door. You'll lose the open tab. She scanned my calm rooms like a crime scene. You look thin, I run. You look lonely. I'm not. She nudged the lasagna forward. Ethan's in trouble again. That isn't my emergency. She left the dish anyway. I ate every bite. Love and manipulation can share a recipe. Ethan went nuclear. A vague book essay about some people measuring love in dollars. Comments poured in, strangers urging him to protect his peace. I made puttanesca, listened to Coltrane, and drafted a trust for a widow who kept thanking me like I'd handed her back her future. Then the real test, Dad called at midnight. Your mom slipped on ice, county hospital. My body was in shoes before my brain voted. Halfway down the stairs I paused, called back. Do you need your son or his credit card? A long static breath. We need you, I went. I held Mom's good hand while they splinted the other, bought trashy magazines and decent coffee, drove them home. On the porch she whispered, thank you. No strings. I answered, I'm your son, not your lender. She nodded, tired, not defeated. Okay. Small green shoots after that. Dad FaceTimed to figure out online billing and laughed when it worked. Mom sent photos of her brace decorated with stickers, no ask attached. Ethan stayed stormy. He blew up my phone with childhood photos and guilt. One night he appeared at my door in $1,000 sneakers, shoulders curved inward. I'm not here for cash, he muttered. Swear. He handed me a grocery bag of overdue notices. They speak a different language. I let him in. We sat at my little table. I translated late fees, minimum payments, scam mail. I didn't pay a cent. He didn't ask after the first half hour. At the door he said, I'm pissed at you. I know. I think I'm more pissed at me. I know. He left without the bounce. 6 months later the sky still in place, orbit corrected. Family dinners now end with separate checks and actual conversations. Mom asks about my closing arguments instead of Ethan's seed round. Dad books his own flights. Ethan texts a photo. 3 new envelopes on the kitchen counter, each signed by the correct recipient. Figured you'd want proof. Still irritated sometimes, he adds. Same, I reply. Love you. No more bridges. Moral: love isn't an endless line of credit. It's honesty with interest. I'm not the safety net. I'm Harry Brother, son, lawyer, signing only for myself.